Good evening. Today is Thursday, July 12th, 2017. It is 7 o'clock or 1900, and this is the monthly meeting of the Beech Grove Redevelopment Commission. I would ask our members starting to my right to introduce themselves, please.
Kathy Chappell, Secretary.
Ron Moat, Vice President.
Jay Oswalt, member.
Donald Webb, President. First off, we will do May's meeting. The RDC did not have a June meeting. It was summer recess. So I will ask if anybody has any questions over the May meeting minutes or corrections, and if not, I would ask for a motion to approve those said minutes. Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve minutes is accepted, and next we will do the payment of the bills. For this month, the RDC has bills totaling $17,683.43. Lewis and Capps, Robert our lawyer, $681.77. Peters Consultants, we have two, one for $48.81 and one for $1,312.85. Tim Showalter, who does our recordings, $225. Beech Grove Sewage, $15. Borgman Enterprises, $1,900. That was the agreement that we made with the mayor to help on the landscaping and keeping Beech Grove beautiful and attractive, which it is. And then Crossroads Engineers, $13,500. That's part of our Greenway grant. If you looked around, anybody who's watching this, there are stakes around the park and along Charnwood Parkway in the Carrington community, starting the initial markings and looking at of our Greenway. So, you know, you can kind of start to see work and progress going, so that's very exciting. So with that, I would ask for a motion, unless there's any questions, to approve $17,683.43 to pay our bills.
I make a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have paid the bills. Did you want to talk, Mr. Mayor, or did you want to talk, Kathy?
Yesterday, would you like a copy of what we had yesterday? Give one to Robert. Yesterday, I attended a meeting here at City Hall, 10 o'clock in the morning, lasted about an hour, and there were, I can't name everybody, IPL was represented, Citizens Gas was represented, Fire Department Chief, EMT, a representative from Franciscan Trails, two employees from Crossroads Engineering. I don't know, I just didn't know everybody. A couple of citizens, private citizens. Anyway, what we talked about was the trailways. They had several maps laid out on the table that connected from one to another to show everybody exactly where the path was going to be. There still could be some changes in that, but that's the starting point. And as you said, there are stakes with pink flags on them that are to show you through the park. Had it been nicer weather and had we not had so much rain to where it's muddy, we could have actually walked that path to see what it was going to be like.
Right.
If this is a flyer that they gave us yesterday, the asphalt itself is going to be 12 feet wide, which really surprised me. I thought it'd be much narrower, 12 feet. And there's going to be a foot on each side of gravel. And part of the reason for that, first of all, it allows a lot of people, but secondly, emergency vehicles have to be able to get on the path should there be a need. We talked about call boxes every so often in case there's some kind of emergency. I had two concerns. One was, once they do landscaping, they're going to have to take down some trees and replant trees. My concern was, will there be any kind of a dead zone when it comes to using your cell phone should you need to use it? They don't think so, but they're not positive. My other concern was there are going to be 4 pedestrian bridges. My concern, and I'm not sure that anything can be done about it, is going across 9th Street. There would be flashing lights there. I mentioned a bridge over 9th Street, a walkway bridge, but it's not cost effective. He said, do you remember the dollar amount? He said it could almost cost as much as the trail itself
I don't doubt that.
to build a bridge over. But that was a concern, but they were concerned about, as I said, getting vehicles back there. The gentleman from IPL and Citizens Gas, they did not indicate at this point that they see any problems with the location of this trail. Am I right, Dennis? I understand. I mean, something could come up, especially if they have to move the trail for some reason.
Right.
But as it stands now, it doesn't look like any utilities are going to be affected by this path. Of course, that was, this is all phase one that we're talking about. Talked a little bit about the possibility of phase two and where that would go, but right now everybody's concern is let's get one and then go on to number two. I can't think of any other concerns people had. I do know the EMT was concerned about vehicles, but that seems to have been taken care of. Asphalt evidently comes in different levels of surface hardness, and this is the least, it would hold the least amount of weight, but still has a long lifespan.
That makes sense.
Right. Well, because they don't anticipate vehicles being on it, other than perhaps bicycles, but that was a concern. But Crossroads assured us that it still has a long life. Landscaping was talked about, but they can't really do much about landscaping until the final improvement of the path itself.
Well, when we get to that period, I mean, there's a lot of organizations I can think of. Like I say, Lily does a day of service.
Right. Actually, there was a landscaper, wasn't there, Dennis?
There's a landscape architect, but the purpose of the committee.
Right, what it should have.
Right? But I'm just saying,
Different groups. There's the Greenscape Commission, the Parks Board, and the Redevelopment Commission. Those are the three
Right.
groups that I want to have say in what this thing should look like.
Right. Oh, yeah, Tom Hanna was there, of course. He's director of the parks.
And the parks, because once it's up and running,
They're
they
responsible.
have to maintain it.
Right.
So
I mean, as far as landscaping and stuff like that, you got Lily Day of Service and you got high school kids that need.
Right. Well,
I
and
mean,
again,
there's some sweat equity though that you can use to help offset the costs and beautify, you know what I mean?
right.
So, I mean, that's a ways off. I
They
mean,
talked about, markings, the trailway signs, as I said, the call boxes, should there be an emergency. I thought it was a nice meeting. I thought
good meeting.
everybody's pretty much on the same page. I don't think anybody walked out of there not liking something we talked about. I thought the guys from Crossroads were thorough. Dennis mentioned at that meeting that Trent was going to be at our meeting in August. He was not there yesterday.
right. I think I got an email from him in June
Yeah.
saying that he was gonna come to August. I can't remember, honestly.
It seems to me like
Summer's just been a whirlwind.
Tom Hanna mentioned one resident in Carrington was really concerned about the path when it came to his house. I don't know who that person is, but it seems like there's only one person that
At
is,
the end of the day, it'll be fine because it's on the other side of the creek.
okay,
Well, the thing about it is when this was introduced back in 2002 or 3, like, the original thing was to go between two houses in Carrington, use the sidewalk and all the way through, and then when it got down the bottom, widen it. That was the original thing, because when they built Carrington Community, the developer, to gain favorability, agreed to give the city an easement that runs between two houses.
well, this is going to follow the path
Right.
of the sidewalk on the,
Well, again, what
Across
happened
the
is
street from-
the folks who have money in Park Meadow found out about it and they blew a gasket.
I don't,
And so, and then somebody spent all the money and it faded away. So, yeah, it's gonna be on the other side of the creek, and where it comes into Carrington and crosses, I mean, it's land that we pay to have the grass cut, because there's like 5 acres of grass we pay to have cut as part of that community. I mean, it's gonna be far enough away from those houses.
right.
And
then
it'll be easy access for the police or safety vehicles. I mean, it's a
Right.
wide open area, so.
Yeah,
And the thing about those people that live across from it, they're gonna see almost immediately $10,000 to $20,000 of value go right onto their home. They're gonna become prime homes that
right.
they go up for sale today, they're sold tomorrow, because somebody wants a home that they can walk out their door, grab their dogs, and they're walking on a trail.
Well, and again, it ends at Taco Bell. That's pretty much what we talked about. And again, my only concern was crossing 9th Street, but they're going to put flashers up and
Well, if you
make
think
it as
about
safe as
they've
they
got-
can.
A good thing about it is it's a school zone, it's near a park, and most people are familiar with that. So if you tie that in those safety features, I think it should be okay.
Right. I think it's going to be great. I'm shocked at how wide it's going to be. That part shocked me, but
That
it
did
doesn't
me a little
disappoint me.
bit.
It just surprised me.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because the EMT and the fire chief, that was a concern of theirs, is sooner or later, somebody might get hurt and have to get
I mean,
there.
like the Monon, I don't believe is as wide.
Well, it's not as wide, and they're having conflicts between the bicyclists and the walkers and,
Well, and again, it was
And
limited because
bumpers
it
and
was
strollers.
actually a rail trail,
yes.
and it was built on railroad, so I mean,
I didn't ask at the meeting, and it really doesn't matter to me, but I wondered if they would have like a walk side and bicycle side.
That's what I was gonna ask, because
No, they have, the path is
12 feet,
12 feet. Right down the middle, there'll be a painted line.
okay?
You either go this way or that way.
So walkers and bikers going the same direction will be on the same path. I guess bikers could,
Running and
okay. I
hopefully
meant to
pe-
ask that yesterday, Robert, and I didn't, but I thought, well, I'll save that for meeting 2.
hopefully most people will use common sense, but I'm sure there's
Well-
gonna be those occasional bike rage or whatever, walker rage incidents that'll happen that happen all the time anyway.
Well, I think, I think people just want to feel safe. We haven't even really talked about security or cameras or anything like that. That'll come up as we know what the path's going to be. But that would be my main concern is safety.
Well, if you think about it, though, we put cameras in the park. to
I know.
help. And that helped. And, there's this notion, I don't know why, people think that, well, they build a trail, all the criminals will go to a walking trail.
Well, but you
And I
have
mean-
to
I mean,
admit,
there's-
you've heard of travel on the Monon Trail. I mean,
Well,
there's been
but
some,
I've heard of trouble with people walking downtown. in the
No
middle of the
question.
afternoon and getting
there's
sucker
more
punched.
crime in my street than in a trail.
And, the thing I would tell people who are watching or do watch is, this is something that money that they pay in taxes are going to benefit them and their community. They may not use it, but it is an amenity that will make Beech Grove more attractive to people who want to move here. It's no different than communities, if you look at where, Carmel is famous for the Monon, Westfield extended the Monon. I mean, the Monon keeps going further and further north because people want that trail, because it's an amenity that is something that can draw people to their community. It's no different than, having a good fire department or police station. It's something that makes your community more attractive.
well, Dennis mentioned that during the meeting.
And
So,
and that's desperately what we need. Again, improving our brand, cleaning up the incidences we've had in the past and improving the image of Beech Grove, a walking trail, being a green city, beautiful plantings possibly along the interstate and signage that welcomes people to Beech Grove are all things that will improve the image of the city. And a positive image will drive up property values. It'll make businesses want to come here. It helps everything. I mean, a negative image kills, a positive image is what I think we're going to get in this. So that's why I was always from the start mentioned it and was always kind of excited about a greenway.
yeah.
Because we can't afford a pool right now, but we can afford a greenway.
Well, if you look on this schedule that I gave you, it gives a time frame for how long this is going to take.
So is 2020 or is it 2021?
2020.
And I guess my one question is, we've talked about it, any possibility, because we got started a little early, that if something drops off, we could slide up a year?
I don't know. See, you gotta keep in mind, 2020, that's 2020 for us, or for them. Their fiscal year starts July 1st of each year. So their 2020 is their July 1st, 2020 is our July 1st, 2019.
Right.
So we're about 2 years out from this.
Well, that's exciting.
It is. It was a
Oh, yeah,
nice
we def-
meeting. I had a good time, learned a lot. I think everybody there is on board.
Well, then we gotta stay on top of it, make sure we
There's
stay
a
on top.
lot of people on board, and I told the group that I'm not gonna be part of this, I'm gonna be on to other things. But they have impact they have a voice in how this thing is going to look and function.
Warner Wiley's pretty much going to be in charge, is he not?
Honorary.
Honorary, okay. Because evidently Warner was part of this when it was talked about a few years ago. He was mayor at the
First
time.
came up.
Right.
Yeah, so he was there at the meeting.
Like I said, I think it's a wonderful idea, and, you know, we'll talk to Trent next month.
Yes, here.
And, you know, there again, it might be, you know, I'll defer to him because he's done these, but, you know, we had that, when was it, last year or the year before, we had that open house, and we actually had a record. I think we had like 20 people at an RDC meeting, because we kind of mentioned it, that showed up to ask questions about the Greenway. I don't know when another one of those is needed, but I don't think it's ever a bad idea.
I
I
don't-
think Trent's gonna wanna do one.
But not next month, maybe later.
No, I'm not saying next month,
Okay.
I'm saying we can
When-
get with him to set it up, though.
Do you, I assume we're going to have another meeting of the people that were here the other day. Do you know when that's going to be?
Yes. Yesterday, or the meeting we had yesterday was, which is what I got excited about, because it was the first required meeting
Right.
from, NDOT requires these meetings, and NDOT was there yesterday at the meeting.
Oh,
They
which,
require quarterly meetings from yesterday until the project is done. And NDOT's there because NDOT's the one that's giving us the money, and they control everything, so they want to make sure that we stay online.
right.
and
I forgot they
within
were there.
budget and on time. So, yes, the next meeting will be 3 months from yesterday.
October. Okay.
Do you want to be our lead on that, Kathy, or do we?
I
need
don't
to-
mind.
Or do we need to take turns? I don't want to force it on you. I will find time if you need it.
If I'm available to go, I'll be happy to go. I've
We got
left there
some
pretty
time between
excited.
now and then, but it's, you know, it's up to the other people. If somebody else wants to too, I
You
don't
know,
care.
you guys, I've always tried to include the RDC when
Right.
there's something going on.
I want to make sure one of us is there, but again, if you start going, Kathy, and you know what's going on from past meetings, present meetings, and future meetings, I think that's always a stronger thing than Ron going one meeting, I going one meeting, because things may not get.
Well, I don't
communicated.
even suppose it'd be bad if two or three of us showed up with it, didn't it?
Not three.
It'd be three, then it'd be a quorum.
Oh, of course, two. Okay, well, I mean, we got from now to October, but we'll see.
All right, we'll talk about it in September's meeting, because then we'll be coming up in October, and we'll have to figure out who, but, you know, like I say, if you want to be the lead on it, I have no issue with that. I don't know if anybody else does, but I don't. I think it's good that you went to the first one. I'm glad you did, because I just didn't have time from work to escape. We got too many people
Well,
on
I'm
vacation.
unemployed at the moment, so semi-retired. My husband's gonna find me a job. I think he's gonna pay somebody just to hire me. Seriously. Okay, well, that's all I have to report. Did I leave anything out, Dennis, that I should have?
Well done.
Good meeting.
Thank you.
Nice people.
Yes.
I thought you was talking about our meeting like it should be over.
No,
Wishful
I'm
thinking.
fine. Hey, listen, I got my little recorder going. I got my little
Well,
notes.
Mr. Mayor, if you want to present, that's more than fine.
Yeah.
All right, several things going on. Our paving project, other than North 7th, is done. So we're really doing well on our road assets, knocking them off. The bad ones that were scored bad, so we're doing much better. Including in the paving was, we put some more handicap paths in the park. So now, folks with disabilities can get from the shelters to the playground equipment and stay on the asphalt. So that's a really good thing. And then
Is that at both parks?
that's at Chalice Park on 9th and Hilltop Shelter in the main park.
Okay,
Creekside's already got them.
okay,
And then Little League's had them for about 3 or 4 years now.
okay.
And then in 2019, where you come off of Byland there at Park Meadow, you weave your way through a little path through the woods to Hilltop Shelter. We're going to pave that. So that's coming on. St. Francis is, they're doing very well. Very happy with the progress they're making. They've got the south building and the center building down, and they're cleaning that up, and then they're going to move over to the tower building. The north building of the old hospital, and then behind the tower, the back section of the tower is called the bustle. They're leaving the bustle and the north building up until they take the tower down, because that will act as a buffer between the tower and the neighborhood behind the hospital. Once the tower's down and cleaned up, then they'll go back and knock the rest of it down. So they're doing very well. They're doing exactly what they said they would do. And our engineers now are starting to be engaged because they're getting close to the basement of the north and the south or south and the center building. So that's going on. The two medical buildings across the street, there's a little bit of movement on it. There's a fella, and he's been working on it for about 6 months, who's interested in purchasing both buildings for senior living. Not to the point where we would do a business plan or anything like that, but they're starting to talk about that, so that's going on. You should have received a email maybe from the clerk about the tax distribution, spring tax distribution, and the fact that in one of the TIF allocation districts, you've had an $80,000 increase in payment,
Right.
which is really good news. And I think you should have received a deposit of almost $500,000. So that was good news. And I can never get tired of saying this to the RDC, especially Don and Ron and Kathy. One of the best things that ever happened to this city was Beech Grove Station. And you should be publicly commended for sticking to the plan and getting it done, because now they're paying taxes.
Oh, yeah.
So, excellent, excellent, excellent. And they maintain the property it's very clean, and they're methodical about it. They're out every day picking up trash.
I was over there the other day. I have a girlfriend, actually is in the very first building as you turn in. She loves it. She just loves it. Said it was a good decision for her.
Churchman sidewalks are proceeding. They had to stop a little bit because AT&T had to come out and move some lines. So I suspect that they'll be back up next week. That will end up being the second largest project that I've done as mayor, because the Main Street's first, but the amount of they're correcting a major problem out there, and that's they're putting in storm drains, stormwater system, and that's going to carry all that water out of there. And you don't think about that because you focus on sidewalks, but that project is going to be excellent, excellent, excellent. So I'm very happy about that. We sent our application in for another community crossing grant yesterday. I spent some time with the governor this morning. We talked about the grant and the continued funding for roads. And we're looking to get an increase in our local roads and street budget of about 40% next year. And we asked for almost $500,000 in a funding grant through the Community Crossings Grant. And I have every reason to believe that we'll get that. So we'll pave $800,000, $900,000 worth of roads next spring.
Wow.
So, and the great thing about it is, over the past 6 years, we have paid down, and this group has done it as well. We have paid down our debt that we inherited, and we pay as we go, and we will not issue any more long-term debt.
Good.
So we're really doing well. The RDC is doing well, the Civil City, and then the sewage works. We're doing well with the revolving loans that we had prior to me being mayor. So one of these days, it will all be paid off, so that younger people won't have to pay for our debt. And that's all we can ask for. Thompson Road, we're going to apply for funding for sidewalks on Thompson Road, on the north side of Thompson Road, between Emerson and 9th Street this fall through the MPO. So that's in the works as well.
Are there any plans to repave that road?
No. There's no plan, the city of Indianapolis has no plans to do anything with Thompson Road through 2035.
That road is so bad and deteriorating so bad. There's two areas, South Emerson between County Line and Stop 11. It looks like it's been bombed, and yeah, they got the asphalt patches which fall apart in November. And then, Thompson Road, it's in horrific shape. And I often feel like times our brother city of Indianapolis ignores everything south of Washington Street. And, Thompson Road needs to be given more priority. I don't know how we do that, but, your point about the sidewalks, I see so many people walking. It's a miracle nobody's been hit or killed. I mean, that's a flat-out miracle. And, that road is falling apart, and you can see it. And next winter, it'll be atrocious. It was atrocious this winter, but if we get a cold winter where the roads really buckle, Thompson will be mostly gone, especially, where the apartments are. That area is really bad.
And the last thing I want to talk about is Kinetrics, and I put a drawing out. Right now, you have the main facility, Kinetrics. They are going to, their main customer is UPS, and they are increasing their fleet by 25%. And now, the roundabout there that's circled, you see the circle around the roundabout, and then there's an arrow pointing up to the spur. The roundabout is set for construction in 2019. And that is a major, major, major development for Kinetrics. Because I also circled an area right by the plant. They are going to build a maintenance facility for semis. And you see the squiggly line that's,
Yes, sir.
that is going to be a fill station for natural gas, where semis can come in and fill their tanks. There's a conglomerate of over-the-roads trucking companies, and they've merged, and it's called Merchant Gas Group. And they are, by the end of July, if it works out, they are going to, Kinetrics is going to make an offer to that conglomerate to lease that space for their trucking company. And then that spur and the roundabout even becomes into more play. I told the council Monday night that I've been waiting for this for a couple years. And if it happens, that will dwarf anything that we've done as a city for as long as I can remember. That will be worth millions and millions of dollars to this city. And for you folks,
Yes.
That's in the TIF district.
Yeah, that'll add a little to our budget.
So we're watching it closely. We met with them 2 weeks ago. I'm meeting with them again in the morning, and we're gonna talk about these things, and we're really gonna push this. And you also, can you see the 3 parcels?
Yeah.
That was all, if you remember the old refined metals, that's all been cleaned up. So, that's a good thing. It's getting ready to happen out there. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You get to keep those drawings, but I just wanted to show you where we're at and why that roundabout is so important for the future of that area.
I just wonder how all that new truck traffic will affect Arlington Avenue.
The city of Indianapolis is going to have to address Arlington Avenue from the roundabout north to south
74.
to 74.
Yeah, because that's just 2 lanes.
That's what I'm saying, it's a lot of traffic, and not only that, it's a lot of weight.
Because, you know, we're doing so much to Churchman, we're making Churchman more pedestrian friendly. So we want trucks to go out the other way. So now you see, now they average 22 tankers a day going up and down Churchman. If this goes, that will at least double and probably more. So it's all good. It's all good.
Great news.
Yeah. So we're gonna stay on it and work it hard and we'll see what happens. Any questions? Other than that, we haven't done anything.
Yes,
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
thank you.
I'll open it for general discussion if anybody has anything.
Maybe
Nope.
Robert does, I don't know.
You have anything, Robert?
I don't have anything for this month. Kathy, if you think that in August you'll have those other things, I can, and before that meeting, maybe send to everybody the Greenwood stuff again. We talked about it a couple of years ago,
Go ahead and approach Greenwood again.
but,
Is
well,
it
I
what
don't know that that's necessary.
Okay. Is that something you can find out? I'll go ahead and do Speedway. I did Southport today.
I'll look for my files, and if they're in there, I don't think there's any need to approach Greenwood.
Okay. Okay.
I thought they were gonna send you some. I never followed up with you,
You know,
but
they sent me quite a bit of
Right.
stuff. and
I remember
He's
that.
just not sure what it is.
One meeting shortly after that.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and contact Speedway and kind of wait to hear from you. You can either email me or call me and say, hey, I found it, or no, I didn't. And then-
Ultimately, I think we'll need a work session to talk about it, because if we're really gonna develop our application, our standards, I don't think you can do that necessarily in a 1 hour.
Probably not.
Probably not, and that's fine. I mean, those are Saturday morning coffee and donut type things. That would be fine.
Yeah.
And I guess we're probably gonna need to get on that because I haven't tracked the progress of Next Stop Beech Grove yet, but as they move on, I'm sure when they reach their next goal, at some point, they will start coming to us saying, hey, we'd like help with this or that. And to your point, we need to have an application program that they can fill out and we can understand and evaluate.
And criteria, so that
Yeah.
Right.
even-handed.
Dennis, was there anything going on about, isn't it called CRI?
Yeah, we have a meeting next Tuesday night here at 7, and I think somebody sent an email, they'd like to have somebody from the RDC.
Well, Diana Hendricks contacted me. I did not get that email. She said Julie was supposed to have sent them out, and somebody preferred to be the president of the organizations. Was that you, or was that Diana?
Not me.
Okay.
I am going to be part of it. I'm going to lay out some of the things, some of the directives. But
Do you know what he's talking about? I text Dawn after I talked to Diana.
the purpose of the group, and it's somebody from each group, the RDC Parks,
EDC, council, chamber is, so everybody gets on the same page as we move forward as to what's going on and the master plan for the city going for the next 2 or 3
Right.
years.
I can't be at that meeting. I have alumni, I'm on the board of directors for the alumni, and I have a meeting that night. Can anybody else
What
go?
night is it?
Tuesday, isn't it?
July 18th or 7th.
That's a Tuesday.
It will last, the meeting will last 1 hour.
That next Tuesday?
Yep.
I have a shot at it.
I know I can't, so it's maybe
I'll put it in my
Ed.
calendar.
I'll check my calendar.
I will let Diana know that we talked about it tonight because she wanted me to get back with her.
Well, does anybody have anything else?
Nothing.
Dennis, I can't remember, CRI, what's that stand for? Community?
Community initiative, something, I forget.
Okay.
Community development initiative or something, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll find out. I have to put in my minutes.
Well, if there's anything else, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:40. Thank you. We will see you in August, the 10th of August to be exact. So thank you and have a wonderful evening.